So here's a situation. You're testing your Google Analytics 4 setup, and then you start seeing the same event twice in the debug view, even though it should be tracked only once. Why is this happening? Let me show you. The first reason is that maybe you have installed Google Analytics 4 with Google Tag Manager, like I do right here, where you can see the GA4 configuration tag and the Google Tag Manager interface, but you also have Google Analytics 4 tracking code, which is known as gtag.js, added directly in the source code of the website. Let me show you. If I go to the website, do the right click and then view page source, here I have the gtag, also known as Google tag or gtag.js. It is installed on the website. It sends the data to this property, which is the same property as it is used right here in Google Tag Manager in the GA4 configuration tag. So if you have both GA4 in GTM and GA4 in the source code of the website, this will cause duplicate data, because in this case, one page view event is sent from this code and the other one is sent from this tag. So the solution here would be to remove one of these implementations. Since I'm a fan of Google Tag Manager, I would recommend asking a developer to remove the tracking code from the source code of the website. Because right now, since I have GA4 implemented twice, I can refresh the page and then go to admin of Google Analytics 4, debug view, and here I will see two page view events instead of one. Like right here, one page view and the other page view. Now let's go to the second situation. Let's say that I'm tracking when visitors click Add to Cart button on this e-commerce website. And when that happens, let's say that I have asked a developer to push the Add to Cart event to the data layer so that I could see it right here. When that Add to Cart event appears right here, this trigger is activated and it sends the Add to Cart event to Google Analytics 4. But maybe for some reason, maybe there's a bug in developer's code, maybe something else. For some reason, you get two Add to Cart events instead of one. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say that here I will click Add to Cart, but instead of one Add to Cart, I get two Add to Cart events. Since these events are identical, the Add to Cart event will be fired twice, once per each event. And as a result, if I go to the debug view of Google Analytics 4, I see two Add to Cart events right here. So if this is a situation that you also see in your Google Tag Manager container, you should cooperate with a developer who implemented those data layer pushes. And I mean data layer push that looks something like this. And then you should ask a developer to find the reason why this happens and that your developer should fix this issue. Because your goal is to have one Add to Cart event when a visitor clicks on the Add to Cart button. Of course, this example can be applied to other situations because maybe you have some other event name which is duplicated because of some error in the code. So try to adapt this to your situation and see if it applies. And then let's look at a third example. I've noticed that this is fairly common among beginners of Google Analytics 4 because, well, I have to admit, GA4 is quite confusing. So those who are just starting with GA4, they might misunderstand certain parts or certain features of Google Analytics 4. And as a result, they might get duplicate data or duplicate events because of this. So when you send an event to Google Analytics 4, you don't have to do anything else in the interface to, let's say, to register that event. Because sometimes beginners think that, for example, when they send the Add to Cart event to Google Analytics 4, they think that they also have to go to the admin panel of Google Analytics 4. They need to go to events, and then they do the following. They click create event, and then they try to register that event or do something similar like that. So they click create, and then they enter Add to Cart, and then in the condition, they enter event name equals Add to Cart, and then they click create. So in reality, you don't need to do that. Once the event is sent to Google Analytics 4, so for example with this tag, that is it. Within the next 24 hours, you will start seeing that event in your reports. You don't have to register it or do something else with that event. But if you do something like this will duplicate the event because one event will be sent from Google Tag Manager. For example, right here, we are sending Add to Cart. And then this rule right here will create another event, because basically this create event feature means that you're telling Google Analytics 4 that if the name of the incoming event is add to cart, Google Analytics should create one more event, which is called add to cart. So basically this means to create the same duplicate event. Let me show the consequence of this kind of configuration. So here I am in the product page once again. I will click the add to cart, and let's say that a developer has fixed the issue and now I get only one add to cart in the preview mode. In the preview mode, I see that there is just one add to cart event. I click it right here. I see that the tag has fired. But if I go to admin and debug view, I will see two add to cart events, because one is coming from Google Tag Manager tag and the other one is coming from the create events feature that is available in the events section right here. So basically, if you have duplicate events, one of the places where you should check is to go to this section, click create event, and check if you don't have any rules similar to this one. If you do have, then you should click that rule, click three dots, and then delete the rule. And these were the main reasons why you might have duplicate events in Google Analytics 4. If you found this video useful, hit the thumbs up button below the video. That will help me understand what do you like and what should I create in the future. Also, if you want to learn more about Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics 4, then consider subscribing to this channel. My name is Julius, this is Analytics Mania, and I'll see you in the next video.